And now for more, we welcome Matan Eshet, cousin of Eviatar David, who was abducted by Hamas on the 7th of October and has been held in captivity now for 600 days. Thank you so much for joining us. 600 days since Eviatar was abducted from the Nova Festival. Can't imagine what his family has been through in all this time. What are your thoughts on this day? How are you feeling?
Well, I'm mostly concerned about Eviatar. This is what I'm thinking about today. This is what we've been thinking about for the last 600 days. How is he? What his conditions are? Did he had any food today? Did he got some water? Did they decide to beat him today, or to put some psychological terror on him? So mostly, as every day since October 7th, we are mostly worried about him.
And you talk about the psychological terror. We know, of course, he's being held with his best friend, Guy Gilboa Dalal. They grew up together. And we saw them, of course, in that evil propaganda video when they were made to watch the release of other hostages from a minivan and then beg for their own freedom in this contrived video. At the same time, that was proof of life as such. Talk to us about your feelings on seeing that moment. How did that feel for you? Can't imagine.
Yeah, it was a really hard moment. It was a weird mix of a bit of hope, because we got an actual proof of life from him. And like you said, that was the moment that we knew that Eviatar is being held with Guy, his best friend. So it gave us a tiny bit of hope. But you can look at them, look at their faces. They look shaken. They look starved. And even though he does have his own hand gestures and he sounds kind of like himself, you can see the tiredness in his eyes. You can see how white they are from the lack of sun. I can actually count the bones in his hand, and his cheekbone are just so dominant in his face, which is something that I've never thought of before. They look almost like skeletons in those moments. And that after that, they look like that after we know they've been fed for 2 weeks, gaining around 14 or 15 pounds. And they're so thin, I can't even imagine how they looked before. And I think to get out of the tunnel and see Omer, who became the brother in arms, the brother in captivity, being released, and then being taken back down, I don't think I can imagine something more cruel you can do to a person, to watch him, to give him a taste of freedom, just in order to get him back to this hell on earth that you've kept him for so long.
It certainly was a level of evil that is just difficult to comprehend. And Matan, as you heard from my colleague earlier on, there are conflicting reports over this potential ceasefire hostage deal. It seemed just days ago that good news was imminent, according to the Prime Minister himself. But overnight, he again said that military pressure was the best way to secure the release of the hostages. If you could give a message right now to those involved, the decision makers trying to secure a deal, what exactly would you say to them right now, 600 days in?
I'm not a politician, and I'm not a military man, and I have no experience in intelligence. I'm just a worried family member. the biggest thing that I can tell them is do whatever you need in order to bring our family home. Bring every person who is alive back to their families to get healthy again, mentally and physically, and bring all the people that got murdered on October 7th. And since people need their families home, alive and dead as well, um, I think every person here in Israel and so many people abroad as well give you the backup that you need in order to make a deal. In the end, we'll be okay with every thing that we'll need to do in order to get them back home. Just do it. Uh, we as a country, as people, will sort everything else after that. Just make sure that you bring them back home. Your people are backing you up. Just do it.
And the nation is hoping and praying for good news and the return of all the hostages. Matan Eshet, the cousin of Eviatar David, hoping for good news about Eviatar, of course, as well. Thoughts are with your entire family. Thank you very much for being with us on I-24 News on this difficult day. Thank you.